Words I never thought I would utter. Getting married at Disney during a hurricane. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name's Lindsay, aka SwishWilly, and I talk about all things Disney. So if you're into that sort of thing, please make sure you hit subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. So today's video is a little bit different. I feel like I say that several times on this channel, but this one is definitely a little bit different. Today we are talking about my Disney wedding. Well, at least the week leading up to it, because it was a whirlwind week, everybody. I decided it would be a good idea to, one, get married during hurricane season, and of course, in true Lindsay fashion, it just so happened that the bad luck followed me and Hurricane Ian decided to slide its way in on my wedding. So for those of you who don't know, I was scheduled to have my Disney wedding on September 29th of this past year. And yeah, this wedding was already a long time coming because not once, but twice we had to postpone due to you-know-what virus that came through. So now, on top of 2 postponements, also a hurricane. So I like to say that I am the newly revised Beck song, 2 postponements and a hurricane. I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I'm probably going to be all over the map in terms of timeline, and I'll probably start thinking of things as I'm going through them. So my apologies, but I'm going to try and stick to the timeline as best I possibly can. So of course, we know hurricane season is at an all-time high come September, so we're already looking at the radar. So beginning of September didn't look too bad. You know, we had Fiona coming through and I was like, okay, phew, we made it past that one. But slowly but surely, Ian decided to creep up. So needless to say, I landed in Orlando from Canada on September 23rd. I was gonna say 4th, September 23rd, and we were already monitoring the radar. Now, we were pretty stressed, but I was being hopeful. And I said, you know what, maybe it's just gonna blow over, because a lot of the time, hurricanes tend to just blow right past Orlando, so, or at least Central Florida. So I was hopeful that that was going to happen. And so as we're going through the weekend, we have some family members reaching out to us saying, hey, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what to do. And a lot of people calling us saying, listen, we think we're going to be able to make it, but obviously we're paying attention to radar, as we were. And we also had no answers for people because I can't predict what's going to happen with Ian. So we had to kind of just play it by ear. On Saturday the 24th, I start really reaching out to Disney Weddings saying, hey, do we have any updates as to what's happening? Of course, the parks don't even officially know what they're doing or what to expect. So at that time, we were still on. Now on Sunday, the radar is starting to look progressively worse and slightly, and by slightly I mean pretty extremely, less favorable for the wedding day. So fingers were crossed still. We had 1 bridal party member landing in on Monday, which was great because I'm like, no matter what, at least I'm gonna have 1 bridal party member here. Who knows if things are gonna happen. The rest of my family was gonna be coming in on the 27th, and Ron's side of the family, his people were and Ron's side of the family and friends were mostly going to be coming in on the 28th for the wedding on the 29th. One of Ron's best men were also flying in on the 27th. Looking at the radar on the 26th, I see that it's getting even more less favorable. So I'm sending text messages to my family who has not flown in yet saying, okay, everybody, please pay attention to your flights because who knows what's gonna happen. Your flight may get canceled, delayed, or pushed earlier. So anyway, 27th rolls around. I'm now in Magic Kingdom and we're going to be park hopping to Epcot with my member of the bridal party who has come in on the Monday, and we're having a heck of a good time. However, we rope drop Magic Kingdom, and I'm going to say from 10 a.m. onwards throughout the entire day, I am now going back and forth constantly with family members, Disney wedding coordinators. My planner is now out for family emergencies, so I don't have my wedding planner anymore, but I had 2 incredibly great coordinators helping me throughout the rest of the time, so I lucked out on that. But yeah, so as the day progresses, the communication is getting more and more dire. Family members and friends who are flying in are now starting to drop off because they are very, very concerned, obviously, about being able to fly in, especially those coming in on the 28th. So we went from 50 guests down to 42 in a matter of 6 hours. So that was rough, you know, because you want to spend it with as much family as you can, but what can you do? You can't control the weather. Moving over now, we're over at Epcot in the afternoon, and it has gotten so frantic that I am now text messaging and emailing while on rides. Never in my life did I think I would be writing emails while I'm on Soarin', but yep, that happened. Way up in the air on Soarin', this girl is sending emails to people trying to figure out what the heck is happening because Disney had just announced that they are closing the parks on the 28th and 29th. Here's a part where now I'm kind of scattering my timeline, but going back about 24 hours, I had just sent out an email to everybody who was coming to the wedding saying, as of right now, the wedding is on. The only way that this wedding won't happen on the 29th is if they close the parks. Which at the time I was like, that's not gonna happen. Disney rarely closes the parks. Boy, was I wrong. Thus, the frantic texting on Soarin'. So now I am trying to deal with the wedding coordinators. They're working rampant, trying to figure out what the heck to do. So all we know now is that the wedding on the Thursday of the 29th is not happening, and they're going to try their best to have it on Friday because due to scheduling, at least Disney said they were only going to close Wednesday and Thursday. Hopefully, Friday's back. While I'm frantically emailing, luckily, I had two of my sisters, my brother-in-law, my niece, and her friend already landed by 11 a.m. 1:30 p.m. happens. I have the last person of my bridal party arriving with her boyfriend. So I'm like, okay, this is great. The only people missing now are my parents and then Ron's friends and family who are coming in the next day. Most of which were unfortunately not able to. So that was a hard hit. My parents were the last flight in from Canada on the 27th. And thank God, because MCO, the Orlando International Airport, announced they were closing completely for 2 days, the 28th and the 29th. So if my family wasn't getting in that day, they weren't getting in at all. Unfortunately, one of Ron's sisters could not make it in. She was flying in from Arizona, and there was nothing coming in that would work for the timeline, unfortunately. And changing dates and stuff, it just wasn't feasible. It was very expensive for a lot of people to change their flights. We obviously understood, but obviously that was a hefty blow. Now let's move over to the 28th. The 28th in the morning, we get a phone call from Cammie, our incredible coordinator who was fantastic throughout the entire ordeal. Said we are going to be trying for Friday. Okay, perfect. Let's try for Friday. Later in the afternoon, Cammie gives us another call. There's some staffing issues where they can't commit to being able to get people in because of course you don't know what cast members are dealing with in terms of household damages, family emergencies, etc. So Friday is now a write-off. Okay, well we know that's not it, so I communicate to everybody it's not Friday. Chances are it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. Fingers were crossed for Saturday, but Sunday was also a potential option. So September 29th happens, the original day of the wedding. We get a phone call from Cammie saying there's now only a 25% chance the wedding is going to happen on Saturday, and it's more likely to be on Sunday. Okay, fine. My biggest thing was that I needed the wedding to happen before Monday because that's when my bridal party started to fall off and go home. And I did not want to have a wedding without my friends or family there. Wasn't in my vision, and sometimes you gotta stick to your guns. Now the coordinators were great. They were giving us options that would potentially be more guaranteed of it actually happening. So we were offered other venues, and unfortunately I was just like not into those venues. It wasn't part of my vision. So I said after postponing twice and this happening, I have to stick to my guns. I want my wedding venue, and that's that. I took the risk of not having my wedding at the right time because I wanted the perfect wedding that I had been envisioning the entire course of planning. So now let's go over to the Friday, September 30th, where grocery stores are fully open, stores are open. Because of everything, I had to get my nails done because that got canceled because everything closed. Friday, I'm at the nail salon getting them done. They're still not looking too bad. The appointment was at 10 a.m. So my nails are drying. I look at my phone. Ron has sent me a text message at 11:11 a.m. That's the Make-A-Wish time. And all I see in that message is Cami called, wedding's tomorrow.
What?
Now I'm like, oh my God, okay. One of my bridesmaids who was with me getting the nails done, she was actually across the street over at Marshall's, just killing time until I was done. She comes over and I said, wedding's tomorrow. At that point, I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. It was, okay, make a Target run. I've never went through Target so fast in my life. We had horse blinders on. It was nuts. It was like, get in, get out. I'm sending messages frantically to everyone saying, red alert, wedding's tomorrow. I have to now get on the wedding website, send an email to everybody saying, wedding's tomorrow, get ready everybody, and it was just a wild, wild adventure. It wasn't just like the day of the wedding that I had to worry about in terms of venue. I also had to worry about my hair and makeup and my dress steaming. So that was stressful enough. Thank God, Stacy Otto is like a miracle worker. Stacy Otto was slated to do my makeup on the 29th. And as I was communicating with her throughout the entire time, I was saying, hey, it's probably Friday. Nope, it's Saturday, maybe Sunday. And she was so amazing that we got it done. She sent 2 of her amazing, amazing team members to me who got all of us taken care of. I've never felt more beautiful in my life, so thank goodness for her. The unfortunate thing is, due to everything, I now didn't have a dress steamer. But that being said, one of my dear friends who was attending the wedding was a professional garment steamer for Nordstrom for the longest time. So I got a handheld steamer. He came in, fixed up my dress, and it looked perfect for the wedding day. So that worked out. We also had to adjust our wedding transportation because now, with people dropping off, there was nobody staying at one of the resorts that we had on our room block anymore because they had dropped off, unfortunately. So we had to adjust the transportation and transportation pickup time to only one pickup spot, which was one resort. And luckily, everyone who was supposed to be there, that we knew were going to be there, made it on to the bus. All the communications were received. Thank goodness, because that was my biggest fear, was that there were so many changes that people wouldn't be able to keep up with my emails of this is what's happening. So we were very, very lucky, and everything went off without a hitch day of, which was absolutely insane. I couldn't have asked for a better coordinating team for the day of the wedding. The communication was honestly beyond anything I could imagine. I was getting emails back within like 2 to 5 minutes throughout the entire time. It was absolutely fantastic. They really, really killed it. I don't even know how else to explain it. I can't give bigger props to the Disney Fairytale Weddings team. I can only imagine the amount of brides and grooms they were dealing with throughout this entire thing, and it was incredible because they truly made me feel like I was the only one experiencing issues because they were so on it. So props to them. They deserve so much recognition for dealing with what happened. I can barely put into words how grateful I am for everything that happened. Everything just seemed to fall into place. And the good thing is, having it post-hurricane, there was no humidity and my hair stayed in place, no frizz, no poof. It was wonderful. And the entire wedding was outdoors. So we really, really lucked out because had it happened still during the hurricane, it probably would have been moved into indoor locations. And that just, again, wasn't really what I envisioned. However, I mean, you got to roll with the punches and know it's Florida and it can rain at any given point. But yeah, it was absolutely perfect. About 72 degrees, no humidity, and yeah, it was like everything just fell into place. Everything. Luckily, my photographer was still available. We still had my top choices for photographers there, which was awesome. We did get a different DJ, but they work for the same company, and I knew who he was. The, I guess, replacement DJ. I don't want to call him that because he's still great. He did a fantastic job. I had no complaints. I've seen him DJ on Disney property before, so I knew kind of what to expect. And he's one of my friend Jen's favorite DJs on Disney property, so kept that one a secret from her. That was pretty funny. Overall, the 7 days of stress that I had to deal with, the 3 to 4 days of insane stress that we had to deal with was well worth it. We had a super cool wedding. We got some of the sneak peek pictures back. Our wedding looked badass. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, I think everyone had a great time. I know I did. The only thing I know that I did not do was eat, which sucks because I had an awesome menu, but that's most bride and grooms don't have the time to eat when it's a wedding. And when it's a wedding that's that fun and a DJ that's that great, you're barely sitting down. So now I'm more than happy to do some wedding vlogs on like how I picked my venues, all that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see that series happen. I don't want to bore you guys with it. So if you are into hearing about that stuff, please comment down below and let me know. And then maybe you will start seeing a Disney Fairytale Weddings series featuring me. That probably just lost you right there. But anyway, so thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I know it's all over the place and I'm sure you can hear it in my voice that my brain is still like scattered, trying to put it all together for you guys into context. I'm sure I forgot some things, but thank you for listening. Sorry if I gave you a headache for my chaotic voice in this video, but it was a very chaotic experience. So make sure you hit that like button and don't you forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Have an awesome day!